welcome to Deep Perspectives. I am Blessing Ogwo. Nigeria has a vast array of products that can compete globally, from agricultural goods to textiles, handicrafts, oil products, mining, etc. And our country has the potential of becoming a major player in the international trade arena today. But as we explore the exciting world of international trade and the opportunities it holds for Nigeria and young Nigerian entrepreneurs, we believe a lot of entrepreneurs tend to have their experiences, challenges and barriers towards the success of this goal. So therefore, we'll be talking on this body of boosting Nigeria's export potentials, its valuable insights, the scopes that aims to encourage young Nigerians to explore the world of international trade and also contribute to the country's economic growth. Our guest today was former President ECOWAS Trade Promotion Organization Network and also the former Executive Director, CEO, Nigerian Export Promotion Council, NEPC, Dr. Ezra Yakusak. Dr. Ezra, thank you for joining.
Thank you for having me.
Great. That name sounds so interesting, Yakusak. I know. Can you spill the origin?
Yeah. Well, I used to say that my ancestors came from Japan, because if you add I to Yakusak, it becomes Yakusaki. But I'm a Nigerian, full-blown Nigerian.
Full-blown Nigerian, so
Yes.
Yakusak.
Yakusak.
You're very much welcome.
Thank you very much.
Great. So, this now would lead me to this question because I'm so concerned about our country today.
Yes.
So, but then before we talk about the potentials for growth and innovation, let's talk about the trade agreements and market access for Nigerian products and foreign assets. Let's talk about that.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Well, I need to tell you that the trade agreement you mentioned, the UK is called Developing Country Trading Scheme. It was actually initiated in June 2023. And the essence of that is to provide, like you said, over 3,000 Nigerian products access to UK or on maybe with a reduced tariff or even no tariff at all. Free entry into the UK listing. The essence is to develop our local exports, to also encourage Nigerian products to access the UK market. You see, trade is symbiotic. They also need our products. That's the truth. They may have the technology, they have the know-how, they don't have the products.
Absolutely.
So they will need our products naturally. So that's just the essence of that whole agreement. And there has been various sensitization to ensure that Nigerians or Nigerian products, people are aware of it, and so that they'll have access to that market, and of course make some good foreign exchange out of that market.
And I'm seeing that word duty free. That is like, bring your products free of charge. We explore with that.
Bring your products free of charge.
I know.
Bring your products
or more
free
or
of
less.
charge. And you see, let me tell you one thing. You see, one thing about trade is, it's a relationship. You give and take.
That's all right.
In this era where the US is talking about increase in trade tariff, why go to the US? When you can explore the UK market. That's the idea. As long as you sell, as long as you get the foreign exchange, that's what we all want. Because once you sell, you get the foreign exchange, chances are you add value to it. Chances are you generate employment. It will lead to industrialization, and the economy of Nigeria will be better for it.
And the cost of products on both ends can be quite minimal because I know I'm buying products from you. So if you need my products, you should make it very easy and quite, minimal for me.
That's very true.
I think that's
very true. Apart from that, it leads to specialization because if you keep producing these products and send them to the particular market, there's need for improvement. Chances are, there will be some observation here and there, and you will end up develop that product and improve on that product.
Great. So I'm so concerned, in as much as a lot of youths out there are concerned about, the growth of this, and they are listening out there. So my question right now is, let's talk about the overview of the initiatives of the government, concerning the export sector in our country today. That's very important.
Okay, I remember that this government, the present government of His Excellency, our President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, when they came on board. I remember very well that there was a program that was launched specifically for the youth. It's an export program, a youth export program that was launched by the former Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment. It was launched at the sidelines of UNGA, that is United Nations General Assembly, in 2023. And that program was aimed, or is aimed at bring up the youth to key into export programs. And I think that program is on, though it's domiciled with the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment. But there are other programs, there are other initiatives government has set up. For example, Nexim. Nexim has a program targeted basically on youth and women. It's a facility given by, a financial facility given by Nexim to youths. And it allows you to access finances for export purposes up to 50 million naira. And guess what? At a single digit interest rate, specifically 9%. And if you look at the terms are very generous. So our youth can key into that program, key into that initiative of government, and come on board the export trend. I'm aware there's another program called the Export Expansion Grant. That's a facility that is given to not only youth, but every other person that export. If you export to Europe, for example, or to China, whatever the volume of your export, government will give you up to 5%. If it's a primary if it's a primary product, that's unprocessed product. If it is fully processed, up to the extent of that processing, you can be given up to 15% of the value of what you exported. So these are programs that the youths can key in and take opportunity that's out there.
But then, do you think there will be a bias on, the individuals or this export resource persons coming in? For example, in terms of, getting to know people, imagine what our country, Nigeria, faces today. Maybe a lot of people out there, you have to know somebody, all right, before you get some accesses and all of that. So do you think that's some such a bias there that we should also talk about, that should not occur?
To the best of my knowledge, and having worked with government for quite a while, once you are qualified, once your papers are okay, we don't even want to know your face. Because see, in non-oil export, we deal with firms, not person. The law provides that as a person, you cannot export. It's only a firm, a registered company, that can export. So we don't want to even know who directors of those companies. As long as the companies abide comply with the eligible criteria for export, you go ahead. We don't even want to know who is behind, who are the promoters of that company.
Great. So I'm so interested. Can you give us a key qualifications, for that, accessibility?
No, for example, it depends on the program or the project. But basically, if you want to export, the first thing you do is to register a limited liability company at the Corporate Affairs Commission. Then after that, you now apply to the Nigerian Export Promotion Council for what we call an export certificate. They'll issue an export certificate. And once you do that, depending on what you want to export, for example, if it is food or drugs, you go to NAFDAC for further approval. If it's plant, you go to what we call the Agricultural Quarantine Service, where they'll issue you a certificate. So it all depends on what you want to export. And like I said, I want to reiterate here that to the best of my knowledge, and I've spent quite some decades in that sector, I'm not aware of any discrimination whatsoever that you have to become to one tribe or one religion or one distinct. Companies don't become to tribes or religions. A limited liability company is a limited liability company.
Great. I love what you said, and I want to believe that when there is more accessibility to, this stock exchange of products for our country or in our country, things will be way much better for us, of course. And also now I'm concerned about a lot of youths out there. Currently, Dangote has passed a bill of introducing a seaport, the largest seaport, in Nigeria. And this is alongside exporting gas as well. So I'm like, if someone like Dangote, all right, can think about this and still thinking, he's done a lot for us. He's innovated a lot for us in our country and still thinking. A lot of youths out there I see or I believe should tool this part? All right, so I mean, this is me asking right now. Could you please share with us a few of these, export commodities or products that the youths can lean on just to, get things better?
Okay, before I share some of the export commodities, I need to tell you that what Dangote is doing. Dangote is a wonderful businessman. And apart from that, he's a very patriotic Nigerian. Not about business, but he's very patriotic Nigerian. He has, submitted papers for building of one of the biggest seaport in Ogun State, specific. What are the essence of seaports? Basically, export and import. Basically, export and import. And for the youths, I want them to know, Nigerians generally, that, see, if we want to move ahead, if we want our exchange rate to stabilize, we need to export, because there are only three main sources of foreign exchange. One is non-oil export. The second one is diaspora remittances. And the third one is foreign direct investment. Of all the three, there's only one that we have absolute control on. Guess what? Non-oil export. So we can catch on that. It's a low-hanging fruit that not only the youth, but every Nigerian should look at. Now, talking about the products, there are so many products out there that has very high potential that the youths can access. And Nigeria is very rich.
So this is where you come in. So
yes.
I think I need you to elaborate those products.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Yeah.
Yes.
Now, see, cocoa is one of them. Cocoa, cashew. As I'm talking to you now, our cashew, Japan import about 40% of Nigerian sesame seed. Sesame seed. Now, Japan import about 40% of Nigerian sesame seed. That tells you a story. And the unfortunate thing is that most firms, you'll be shocked to hear this, most firms that export from Nigeria, their promoters, the big firms, their promoters are foreigners. What that means is that if the export business is no good, they won't come to Nigeria with the so-called security problem and invest and export, and they are still here. So I'm calling on Nigerians to realize that there is there's a potential. There's a potential out there that need to be tapped. One other way the youths can key in is export of services. Export of services, that's business process outsourcing. They can key into that because it has to do with digital, it has to do with fintech, and with the Nigerian youths. We have about 105 Nigerian youths that are a little bit about 18 years, on the average of 18 years. And so that's a potential for us. They can key into export of services with their talents. And one of the greatest talents we have is Nigerians, young Nigerians, highly talented. So they can key into export of services and so many other products like I mentioned cashew, I mentioned cocoa, and also ginger. Nigeria ginger is one of the best ginger we can have.
So basically, agricultural products, you mean?
Agricultural product, but see, one of the things we encourage is that to add value. We need to add value. What is adding value? You add value when you process your product. We don't encourage sending or exporting raw agricultural product. Because see, if you add value, what that means is that once you add value, you cannot add value alone. Chances are you have to employ a lot of people to help you add value.
It spreads.
It spread.
Yes.
And so you are generating employment. And in adding value, it leads to specialization. And if you are specialization may likely lead to industrialization. And that's the target. So we encourage people to add value. But for now, if you can't add value, send out what you need to send out, as long as the foreign exchange keep coming in, so that we stabilize the naira and Nigeria will be better for it.
All right, that was a very great one. Thank you very much, Mr. Dr. Ezra.
Yes.
Thank you very much. All right, so you're watching The Perspectives, and we go on the break, and when we're back, we continue. welcome back to Deep Perspectives, and thank you for joining. All right, we are still with Dr. Ezra in the studio with us, and yes, this is me reflecting to Dangote submitting the paperwork, on building the largest, introducing the largest seaport in Nigeria. I mean, and he's also extending it to gas exports right now. So when I heard about this, a few days ago, I was so plunged, and I'm like, there are lots of youths out there. There are a lot of young Nigerians out there who should still or should start thinking this way. So at this point, I would ask, what do you think are those, export potentials or export commodities that a lot of young Nigerians should venture into? Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. I need to say specifically that Dangote is a businessman. But apart from being a businessman, he's a very patriotic Nigerian. The singular fact that he is thinking of building one of the largest ports in Nigeria simply means he wants to expand the export base, which is very key and which is very important.
Absolutely.
And it has opened up, or it's going to open up a whole lot of opportunities for export trade to thrive. Now, having said that, we have several opportunities, several products that the youths can key in. One of it is cocoa, and which is easily accessible. We have cashew. We have, of course, and like our cashew is one of the best, and is one of the best in the country, and is in high demand, especially in Vietnam. We also have ginger. Nigeria ginger is so unique. It's so unique that once there's a problem around Kaduna or Middle Belt area, it affects the whole price of ginger because of its potency, because of its aroma. So it's so unique and is well sought after. As I'm talking to you now, about a year or two ago, Nigerian ginger had issues in terms of disease. It was plagued by some kind of disease, some strange disease. Right now, the ginger value of ginger has gone up because of that issue. So we have the products out there, but most of the time we underestimate what we even have.
I know, right? Also, it has the health benefits. So
of course. And
yes.
One other thing the youth I advise the youth to key in is export of services, specifically business process outsourcing. This is where the ICT comes into being, the fintech comes into being, and it is an area that I can say basically reserved for the youths. I visited a business outsourcing center around here in Mobushi one day, and I was shocked at what I saw. They were providing services right to the US. And when they speak, you will swear by all kind of things you believe in that they are not Nigerians because of the way they were trained. You will see about 100 young Nigerians talking, providing services, advice. And it may be medical services, it may be medical services or any other service to US and other country. So our timing is good in terms of our timing is good. We have the population, we're educated. The Nigerian youths are highly educated. We're skillful. We're industrious. So they should take that opportunity and look at export of services. What they can do.
Absolutely. I think I relate with you because the media and the tech world is literally taking over right now. So I agree with you on that. Absolutely. But then I love your expansions or expansions on those contributions they should make or those areas they should look into. That's right. Now let's get into this question. I'm peculiar about this. In as much as we have a lot that the young Nigerians can introduce or people can do, let's not forget that there are a lot of challenges which could hinder these things. Great. And these challenges are things or encounters that the people face every time of our life. So great. So I want us to talk about those challenges and also try to broaden how the government should solve those challenges or can solve those challenges.
Okay. One of the challenges that readily comes to mind is access to finance. Because go to a commercial bank today, try to access funds or get a facility for export. and they will give you an interest rate of 20 something percent. You can't, I mean, there's no how you can break even. So, apart from that, the procedure of assessing that finance is so cumbersome. It's like, we don't want to give you. Somebody may even tell you, or a bank may even tell you, to go and bring the death certificate of your great grandfather or grandmother. I mean, so that's a challenge we need to fix. And in terms of solution is provided by Nexim. I mean, Nexim is giving various facilities, various export facility, financial facilities to assist exporters, I mean, to venture into the export world. One other key thing I will mention is logistics. Logistics is very key, and I must tell you, we're not there yet.
No, we're not there
We're
yet.
not there
We're
yet.
doing our best, but I don't think
We're doing
there
our
yet.
best.
Yeah.
We're not there yet. And logistics has to do with also the mode of transportation. I'm happy that about a week or two ago, I read that a shipping line was introduced by a private company in collaboration with Nigerian Port Authority. That's very key. That was a wise move. Because as I'm talking to you presently, if you want to export to, let's say, Gambia or Liberia, guess what? Your goods will have to go to Europe before coming back to Gambia. Just like trying to fly. If you are going to Dubai is about 7 hours from here, seven and a half hours from here. But since there is no direct flight, for example, you are not following, I mean, you are not going by one of the airlines in UAE, chances are you go by Ethiopian airline, you fly 7 or 8 hours to Addis Ababa. Then from Addis Ababa, you sit down there, you have to sit there before going to Dubai. Same thing with transportation, I mean, marine industry. We don't have direct access to our neighbors. We don't have direct access to even the African continent. That's a key challenge. That's a challenge. And I would love the Dangotes of this world to look at those issues because they are very patriotic and invest in maritime.
Exactly.
I mean, to cut that because it's. And I know it's a huge business out there. I know it has a high capital outlay, but it's a huge business that our indigenous African firms can readily invest. But there are so many other, I mean, challenges. Infrastructural deficiency is another issue. I mean, transportation, and you are living from Kano to Lagos with goods that you are exporting. Before you reach Lagos, chances are those goods may go bad because they have a shelf life.
But then, are there agencies in charge of making a positive change concerning this area? I mean, it's just like now we're talking. I want to believe there are a lot of people out there listening, and even the people in charge of making these changes are listening. So, right now, I want us to talk to them because I'm concerned about not only talking, but creating a change. All right, imposing a change. So, great. Let's talk about these agencies as well that should also begin to should wake up to getting these things right. Yeah.
To be fair to the agencies, they are doing their best. To be fair, because like I said, I've been there, so I know some of the challenges that they had, especially funding. So they are doing their best.
But we're saying the best is not good enough. So.
Yeah, but what do? You can't get the best today. But once you initiate an action and you pursue it, and you are consistent, you sustain the momentum. One day you reach there.
So are you saying we should give them some time?
Sure, give us some time, but because I do know that there are a lot of programs that have been put out there. But let me tell you one thing with Nigerians. They hardly even access the programs, despite the publicity, the sensitization program that are being made by this agency. I just don't know, for one reason or other, people are just not challenged to venture into
this program because we feel like it's the usual thing. I think a lot of people out there feel like it's the usual thing. While the few who actually try to venture into it or going through that part don't even get it easy. So.
No, but the flip side to it is that some people think the one where they can get fast, quick cash. But if you want to make it, you have to be patient. That's the truth about it. If you want to make it, you have to be patient. Export business has a huge capital outlay. And honestly, you have to be patient. It's not something that, I mean, you sell today like a local market. You take your one bag of rice or one bag of whatever it is, you go to the local market, you sell, you get cash immediately. It doesn't work that way. There are so many procedures.
Exactly. Let's get back to those agencies. For how long do you think we should wait? Because you just mentioned right now that they're doing their best, and you want to encourage the people to give them some time.
I wouldn't know.
I mean, we've been hearing that all the while.
Yeah, okay. I wouldn't know how long. I can't tell you. I can't give you a timeline now. It depends on the programs they are operating. It depends on each program they are operating. So if you give me a program, I will tell you, yeah, by this time, we're going to have, sustainable results. Let me give you an example. 3-4 years back, to export goods from Nigeria, a truck will spend about 3 weeks within Lagos before accessing the ports. Just 3-4 years back, a truck will, to access the ports, they will spend up to 3 weeks. To access the ports, it will cost about $4,000. The same $4,000 you can use to send a 40-foot container to China, just about some few years back.
And it's different now?
It's quite different now.
Okay.
So what that means is that there's a lot of improvement, so much improvement. It's not something that we can just wake up and it's easy to destroy, but to build, it takes some time. So if we can just be patient, we'll be there.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Ezra. Thank you. Pretty good. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
You're watching The Perspectives. I am Blessing Ogwu. Thank you for joining.